least for the present, only the constitutional matters are there on the YouTube. And I think we do not today have the benefit of what was argued by Soli Sorabji or Nani Palkiwala or those constitutional matters which were there. But today, if you look at the privacy judgment and if you look at the same-sex marriage, and insofar as the 370 is concerned, all these hearings are available online. And I think we are creating a digital repository, which is not only for the lawyers, law firms, senior advocates, but also for the law students, and more so for the citizens. So actually, this is a huge, big step insofar as digitalization, and this delivery of service has brought Supreme Court to the doors and to your drawing rooms. And I think it is a very, for us to go to the Supreme Court when we were students, we had to get a pass made, stand in a queue, make a request, spend some 200 rupees on food and stay and commute. Today you can watch it on your mobile phone. I think that's the digital revolution which is taking place. It is bringing Supreme Court to your homes, and that's how the delivery system has improved. But I would also, my professor friend, I would like to ask, what is the jurisprudential impact and effect of this new era of digital change? Yeah.
Good afternoon all. Thank you, sir, for the question. See, the topic is regarding the forms of the legal service. Whenever we are talking the legal service, that is regarding the concept of the state and the law, or the society and the law. So this could be tackled in two aspects. One is the interplay of the technology and the law, and second one is the law and the society. So I will be discussing about the concept of the law and society and how these are things that are leading to development of the concept of legal service. Whenever we are referring to the concept of legal service, our main objective is, main purpose of law is to promote justice, just and fair law. So justice is the concept due to which we are developing the concept of new legal forms or of the legal service. Now, when we are talking the development of the legal forms, there is a requirement of the concept of justice in the society. Before that, we have to understand the concept of society. See, in my understanding, we can divide the concept of society, or we can analyze the development of the society in certain segments. For example, primitive, then feudalistic, then socialistic, and right now we are in a kind of capitalist society, or we can say post-capitalist society or the modern technological society. The primitive society or the feudalistic society has a limited sense of just and fairness concept that was basically based upon the natural law concepts. Then came the socialist approach, where the concept of society was immersed because of the concept of laissez-faire was developing, so there's a requirement of to subsist, or we can say survive, the concept of the interdependency as said by the Leon Duguet in his concept of solidarity, as well as the Durkheim when he talked about the organic as well as the mechanical solidarity. But right now, when we are in a kind of modern state, our modern state is based on technology, capitalist, socialist, as well as the concept of welfare state. But apart from these all, I can say that at the center of these lies the capitalist and the technological society. We cannot reject that we are not a social society, or we are not a secular, or we are not a welfare society. But the crux of all these is the concept of capitalist as well as the technological. As said by Professor Upendra Bakshi also in his book, Future of Human Rights, he says that in the future, the human rights will be governed by the capitalist only. They will be the torchbearer of the concept of justice because they will be holding the power. And that was the kind of harsh truth that we can see in the present time. So, in the present time, when we are seeing the forms or the legal services, the drastic change that I can see in the last 20 years was in the form of Right to Service Act, 2011. That purely talks about the accountability and the transparency. When we are providing legal services, our main objective is that justice and fairness, that in a sense, accountability and the transparency. Justice delayed is justice denied. That's the basic concept that we learned in the first day of our law school. The Right to Service Act was a kind of changing scenario regarding the delivery of the justice system as well as justice services, which can or which has the ability, or which I can say that which has had the ability. That was not applicable at the central level. The different states have a different particular concept regarding that. When we're talking the concept of law, there are two things: application and the implementation, as well as the interpretation. These are three different aspects. We are having a law, and the application, implementation of that particular law is an entirely different concept. And I agree that we have different, right now we are talking about technological advancement, we are talking about the CCTV cameras, or we are talking about arbitration, codification. That all has been brought up through change, a change of structure, as said by Derrida, the structuralism, how a society is being made. When we talk about the first time for the codification, we try to structuralize certain things. When we're talking about the structuralization, that means we're trying to create a structure. Under concept of structure, we are acting as a mechanical organism. There's no requirement of organic growth. We are already in a kind of scenario in which there's a common principle that is being followed by all. Later on, we can see that, okay, there's a kind of deconstruction of that particular idea, but that structuralism is right now present in the form of a legal service or the delivery of the legal service. And how where we can trace that? Recently, on 14th of September 2023, we have codified the mediation law. The codification of mediation law, that is a kind of structure. We are creating a structure for the delivery of the justice in the society. So my point is that we should be focusing on those jurisprudential aspects as well as the philosophy that are leading to the development of the law. Technology is there and that would be there for the ages. But why it is there and what could be the effect of that things should be of primary concern. Thank you.
Great, Dr. So we understand how the society has developed from Jungle Raj to a society to a agrarian society, from agrarian society to a feudal society, from a feudal society to the capitalist society, and now I hear we are post-capitalism. If that be so, and then what has been talked about is that what is going to be the justice and how it is going to be delivered, and he says that it's interesting to note that it will be the capitalists are going to the ones who are going to define that what justice is or what fairness is. I hope that does not take place. Our constitution, as on the 26th, we are sitting on the constitution there. The constitution should define, and all the fractions of the factors of the society should determine that what is going to be the polity, what is going to be the society, and it will be fairness. And resting of the power in the hands of very few will always happen, but that is why we have a constitution, and that is where it will be taken care of. And it reminds me when he says justice delayed is justice denied. I remember a quote from Justice Ahmadi. I met him after he retired, and he said another, and I as a law student, not as a young student, as a lawyer you always remain a student, and he says justice hurried is justice buried. So we'll have to find somewhere in between. And insofar as the structures are found, yes, if there were no structures, there would be laissez-faire or there will be an anarchist society. And therefore, in order to have a society which responds to the needs of the people, there we need to have some structures. Mediation is something which we have already known in all societies, and the panchayat system, which I thought we were just discussing, and is also one of the ways was to mediate and not to provide a very structural justice. But at the end of the day, justice is the goal, fairness is the goal, and ultimately justice is relative, and there is nothing such as an absolute justice, which only happens if you believe in hell and heaven or God, and ultimately it will happen. As long as justice is delivered through human beings, this will only be a work in progress. And as and when we put structures into place, constitutions into place, we will be moving in that direction. And it's happy to know that how, and what I understand is that technology is only an instrument, but not the end by itself, and that is true. And constitution by itself is a structure by which we are striving to create an equilibrium in the society. And that was very well put. And I would ask Oberg to give that how technologies is going to impact and affect insofar as the law firms and the delivery systems are concerned, and what is his view about these new forms and formats in which the legal system is developing.
So thank you. So just 2 words who I am. My name is, as you see, Per Oberg. I am from Sweden, and I have a long relationship with India. I have been in India every year since 1985, coming at least once. And I am a judge at the Stockholm Administrative Court. That's a part-time work. And then besides that, I'm also a business developer between Europe and India, and many other things. Anyway, this question here, what I wanted to talk about, where is the law firms going and where are the legal teams in companies so going in the future? What challenges, what will happen in the future? If you look at, in light of the new technologies which are coming, the digitalization, and now the latest is the artificial intelligence, AI, who comes and mix things up and change things. It doesn't look any longer as it did before. I mean, if you go India today and to a court, a district court or something, you will find an ocean of advocates and understandings there inside the entry and want to grab you and say, we can help you. But that's not where it's going in the future. In the future, you will meet your clients more and more online, and they should find you online. You must have a presence online in order to survive in another way. And there will be much more online meetings. The COVID period has taught us to use the online meetings, and that will proceed. Of course, sometimes you need physical meetings as well, but the online meetings play a big role. And I will not talk about artificial intelligence from the point of view that was discussed before here, legal aspects or how effective or good it is.